Hey, what's going on, BKFC Reddit? Welcome for another. I'm nervous. I'm talking to you now. Like you're down in there, Puerto Rico. Let me start again. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back for another BKFC Reddit. Ask me anything. We're joined by the man J. Axton Jackson. How you doing, sir?
What's up, man? What's up? Thank you guys for having me.
I was scared. I saw those giant pythons on your arm. You know, I'm a reptile guy, but I mean, those are some massive pythons right there.
Ah, man, I swear, dude, it's a lot of work, bro. Buddy curls. You know, me and Buddy curls. If anyone wants to know the secret, Buddy curls, and yeah, just we start from I think it's like we start. It's like 1 to 12 or something like that. That was like the other day, and I can't stand them, but Elvin loves that shit. So it's just like, buddy, Jay, we're doing buddy curls. Like we'll be in the middle of training, and he'd be like, we're doing buddy curls. I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like fuck it, yeah, man, and just it's just regular curls, but like we just go back and forth, like from one, two to two, man, and yeah, it's just bicep curls, man, and just having and doing the nonstop until from 1 to 12, and then we go to 12 to 1. So it's like like 100 something curls. It's fucking annoying.
And that sounds awful. It sounds like it like absolutely kills your arms. But I mean, like you're huge.
Dude, we're blimped up, dude. Like it's just like we're just blimped up balloons. I'm like a blimped up balloon for like 3 days after that shit, and but and that be the end of the workout. Like that won't even that be the end. That be kind of like we'll just like like right now I'm pushing. I'm pushing. My bench press is up right now. Like I think like we were doing maxes I maxed last month, and I was able. I think my max is about 299, 300 because I was able to get. I'm able to get like 215 up like eight reps for eight reps five excuse me 10 reps. Yeah, I'm able to get 10. But I'm able to get I think we do like rounds of like 5 or some shit. You know what I mean? So like I'm able to get like 215 up 10 times uh on 5 sets right now. So like I'm strong as shit right now. Like and that'd be like the beginning. That's kind of what we're start out. We'll start with something like that, and then at the end we're at buddy curls, and it's just it's so sick. That's Monday. Like that's so Mondays, bro. But yeah.
Okay, my buddy Carmine, my graphics guy, he just said, "Where do you get your hat? Do you have your own merch store? Like, where do you sell merch?"
Dude, I had all right, so I do have one. You gotta just DM me right now. I went like I'm a cowboy, so I travel a lot. You know what I mean? So especially in the last few years. So I had a merch store that you was able to get stuff online. I've changed some things up. DM me directly, and I'll be able to get you on these. Yeah, I made like 10 of these. I sold a few. I donated a few. Uh, because because BKFC was in Atlanta. So I was in Atlanta for a few days, and I promoted in Atlanta, and I gave a few out. But I can definitely get him one for sure. Just tell him to DM me.
Let's talk about you being a cowboy. Now, you're from Detroit or you're from Michigan. Are you from Detroit? I can't remember.
I'm from Bay City,
Okay.
Madonna. Uh, no. Okay. So cowboy. I'm from Georgia. That's where I'm
Okay.
born. That's what's on Box Rex. That's what's on my life. But Bay City, Michigan's where I started, like doing MMA, and I started fighting. And the reason why Bay City, like reason why I want to make clear that it's Bay City because Bay City is where Tough Man was made. Like that's where Tough Man was born, and Butterbean and stuff like that. My original coach that got me into boxing, my very first coach is Brandon. It's Bob Arsenal, and Bob Arsenal is one of the original coaches of Butterbean. So my very first interaction with any type of fucking fighting started in the original Tough Man ring, and it's super cool and super special. Where I started in that Tough Man ring, and then like 15 years later, I'm doing bare knuckle in front of fucking Chael Sonnen and shit. So it's like I said, it's pretty cool to start from there to that, you know. But yeah, Bay City, Michigan's where my combat sports life was born.
Okay, but I do know that you're friends with Elvin and you go down there to travel. I mean, do you enjoy going to a bunch of different locations to train, or?
Oh, dude, it's the shit. I started training with Alvin like yearly. I want to say about like 3 years ago. I want to say it was after which fight? Terry. So when I fought Terry, Lorenzo told me the magic of Puerto Rico. Me and Elvin ran into each other to a bunch of shows and stuff like that and talked about it. But then Lorenzo was like, "Hey, come down and help me out in Rico." So I did it one time, and then I fought. I think it was after Warren. I was like, all right, I'll do an expensive time. I'll extend it. So I did after Warren. I went back for a few more months, and uh, then I fought. Then I would fight Simpson or whatnot. So it was just like after, but it was like after the Terry fight, I decided just to do it one time. You know what I mean? Like to do it once a year because I like the mountain here and I like the terrain. And like Elvin's a bare knuckle champion. So for me to have that type of hookup, yeah, I mean, I don't want it to go to waste. So, and another thing too is like Elvin's got a lot, like even though like, you know, our fights, you know, me and Mo, like, even though he was a champion and he's got a lot of fight experience and, you want to be around a lot of fight bare knuckle experience when it comes, you got to have some, yeah, I mean, for you to understand it. Like a Muay Thai, cause I've worked with all types of coaches, Muay Thai coaches, boxing coaches, and everything like that. But you got to find but bare knuckle is kind of like its own thing. So, you know, if you got someone who's been a bare knuckle champion or has fought bare knuckle for an extended period of time, you got that connection. You got to hold on to that type of connection. And I'm someone who, you know, I'm very crazy. So it's just like, you know, like I don't have kids, I don't have a family, I don't have super attachment. So going like I know everyone's like, oh, going to Puerto Rico. I can go to Puerto Rico because I'm a guy and I can do the fuck I want. Yeah, man, that's it. Yeah, I mean, so it's just like, hey, do it once a year, fuck it. And it's just like, why would you go all the way to Puerto Rico? I was like, well, because Elvin's got a lot of experience in bare knuckle. He's a former champion. And I have that type of connection and I don't want it to go to waste. So, you know, make the sacrifices and give it a shot. So ever since I did it one time, it's kind of been in my clock to try to do it at least once or twice. I mean, try to do it once a year to at least see, you know, what he's been watching and to see what he can analyze to help me in my camp. And it's a really cool decision. And plus it's Puerto Rico, so a lot of fun not.
Before I started doing the podcast, I went out to BKFC 41 and I actually met you and Elvin and Lorenzo and all that. And you were such a nice guy that you quickly became like, I was like, oh, I really like this guy. Can you, I mean, you like you just described, you got to fight in front of Chael Sonnen and you've got to fight in front of like these huge, massive crowds, Conor McGregor. What is it like getting such a big pop now? Like BKFC is really starting to take off and you're starting to fight in front of like massive crowds. Is it just so much more exciting than back in the MMA days?
Oh, dude, it's so oh man, it's so different. I mean, but it's so different, but it's the same. Like I'm a cowboy man, so I have been doing this for a long time. I know I sound low. You know I'm a naturally a shy guy, so don't mind my ranting. But like it's the same, but it's not. It's the same, but it's not. Like from where I started at. Like remember like the card that I got to start that I could say my start was the Paige Van Zant and the YouTuber influencer card, you know, and that was actually a pretty big historic card. And then like I have that knockout. So I had like this, I kind of had like this Big Bang Theory thing that happened. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just like, oh, I just fought on the card. No, I had one of the best knockouts in history. And I will learn that word history going on into the BKFC journey of mine, where it's just like, we'll be sitting around talking and dudes just be like, but yeah, it was a great knockout. No, you had one of the best knockouts in history. And I'm like, well, thank you. That's fucking awesome. To think that, in history, I mean, but to go from that to being on that big card, which had rapper Blueface and shit, and he got into a fight. And then once you keep going down on the line off that type of big bang momentum, and a lot of, you start going to these crowds and more people recognize you and stuff like that. That's been the big difference between my old journey to this journey, because now I was able to make a pop. But even before bare knuckle though, I had a I had a pop then during my amateur career, because I had an almost double knockout thing that happened before I went professional, and that went fucking viral. And and that wasn't so like I've always had these funny level up things where my journey's not just this. It hasn't been like this. I guess like this. It hasn't been lame at all, even before bare knuckle, but it's always been interesting because I've had low tides, and then all of a sudden I have a pop, what I mean? And it's not like a generic pop where it was like, oh well, it was something. It's something that fucks up history. And it just I don't mean to fuck up history, but what I mean, it's fucking cool. What I mean? And I'm happy that I can say I've done it with these. What I mean? I've always done it with my hands, a lot of ups and downs and whatnot, but I fuck up history with these. So it's just like that's kind of where, it's kind of been like, like it's really been weird. It's and there's, like I said, there's high times, low times, but once I get a chance to do a high time, I'm all in it and I'm usually ready for it. So yeah, it's been like that,
Many of us on the Reddit feel your fight should be the main event. No disrespect to your opponent, but he is the biggest villain right now in BKFC. He talks a lot of shit. He's not a very likable guy. He might be super likable in real life, but online, he is not a likable guy. And so many people want to see you absolutely, knock this guy's head off. Does that make it more fun because he is such a villain and you are going to have such a strong push because people love you so much, wanting to see you beat this guy?
Dude, that's so funny. Man, I don't. I go, man. See, the funny part is I'm online all the fucking time. So like, so I didn't know there was any hatred towards him. I mean, and this, don't mind me. I'm sorry. I'm just not that dude. Like real talk. I'm proud of him because he lost all that weight. Me and him fought on Tampa together, and he was heavyweight,
Sure.
and then he lost a lot of weight. Changed divisions. And then I mean, I think like the last fight, because we study tape, and he middle fingered the crowd and shit like that, and that would do it. That would piss off some people. But but I'm not I mean, like, I just don't know what to I don't go in a lot of fights with hatred no matter what. And I mean, like, I'm sorry, I know that's not the number popper way of doing things. But I really just love fucking fighting. You know what I mean? Like, so even when we're talking in the back, they're like, and I'm talking about even to fans, they're like, Jake, when are you gonna do a heel turn? And I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I do it with these. This is like the Big Bang Theory comes with the bang. You know what I mean? Like, it don't come with me fucking talking shit. It comes with these. You know what I mean? Like, these have been my key all this shit. You know, man. So like I'm gonna go in there and we gonna bang. I'm gonna knock him out. You know, if I, you know, and I'm gonna do my best to do so. But yeah, I didn't know he was like a heel or he was a villain or whatever. I just knew that he was Irishman. I know he had a beard. I hope he don't catch me off guard and shave. That's gonna piss me off. We're gonna do the stare down. And I just hope he don't like scream in my face. I hope he ain't got like nasty breath. You know what I mean? Like, cause I've had those things where, like, you know what? My hat saved my life against Marcus, cause Marcus tried to like rub his head against my like forehead, and like I had a cap on. You know, man, and so like it was kind of like rain falling type shit, and I'm just like, I'm like, little bitch. That's the reason why I have a cap on. You know what I mean? Like, so we could rub foreheads together and shit. And I'm just like, fuck it. Me and Jared were cool, and me and Terry were cool. Uh, Me and Dulo, we didn't play with each other's noses, but we did stare down. So I'm just hoping that I hope that Kyle just comes in and just does his thing. We both have a lot to prove. He lost a lot of weight, and he's been in the game for a little bit, so he's gonna bring that rain, but I'm gonna bring that bang, because I've been doing it with these, like my whole career. So we have a lot to prove, but I'm ready, man. And whatever fuels his tank to get that fire going in his eyes. You know what I mean? Like, I got a little bit more in me. So yeah. But yeah, if I guess, and for anyone that's backing me up, good or bad, I appreciate it. Thank you, and thank you for all your support. Real talk, but I do it for you guys. I want to put in a good show, so knocking them out makes you guys happy. I'm pushing for it. Like, real talk.
Okay, one of the Reddit users would like to know, what is one misconception that hardcore BKFC fans might have, but like, a misconception that BKFC people might have about like either fighters or the fight game. Like, for me, I didn't realize how good of friends you guys all were, and like how like I got to go to a couple fights and be like in the back, and to see how gentlemen you are, because like when you see at the weigh-in, a lot of times people are in each other's faces and they're hyping stuff, but then you go backstage and everybody's cool.
The misconception about, like, I don't know about others, but I guess about me is like the niceness and the kindness shit. You know what I mean? I train hard, and I train every fucking day. So, in the back, yeah, I got the angry black man face on, but I have the angry black man face on in Walmart. So, it helps me out there for sure. I might just be looking at Fruit Loops, and people are just like, oh my God. I'm like, yo, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting the best bang for my buck. But, you know, my thing is just like, we're all trying to do something in this sport. We all have our own little motives. I think even off my Instagram, I share a lot of pro wrestling stuff. So I'm a big pro wrestling fan, and I just share what I like. So I think that we all have our little Ric Flairs, our own little Dwayne Johnsons that we want to have, and it's our moment. You know what I mean? So we're all trying to fight for our moment. So if you see me in the back, always say what's up. Yeah, man. I get nervous just like everyone else. I hate that thing that there's nothing. Okay, I hate that everyone thinks this shit's easy. You know what I mean? And that like, oh, like, there's just like, it's not easy. A big piece of why I travel is a big piece of what I feel like BKFC likes me. You know what I mean? It's like, if I just sat around and just did nothing. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would. I think I wouldn't have never gotten into BKFC. But you know, and that's another thing too. Like it's this shit's not easy. It's not fun. I'm away from my family a lot. Um, you know, my dad's got cancer, and I don't get to see him. You know what I mean, as much as I can because you know I'm pushing for dreams. You know what I mean, I'm pushing for a really high stake dream that you know that a, a lot of people a lot of people want. You know what I mean, so you know, just don't think this shit's like easy. Don't think this shit's always fun. Don't think that we're all just drinking alcohol and just partying our asses off. I'm literally laying on the floor 99% of the time sleeping after training because I train so much and posting because I'm just trying to get the word out as much as I can to get to the BKFs, you know, get to make sure that you guys are tuning in. You know what I mean? As much as possible. That's it. It's not it's not as easy as it sounds or looks. I'm not an person, but I do have to keep some fuel for my opponent. You know, I can't let him bitch me out. You know, I have that. You know, we have that. You know, as fighters, I can't let this motherfucker bitch me out. But fuck them. Yeah, I mean that's the reason why we do this. You know, because I gotta fight, and we'll that. So yeah, I kind of like I said. I know I go on and on and on a little bit, but I think just don't think this shit's easy. You know, and just know that people go one way or the other when it comes to their you know what they need to do to fuel themselves up to get into that ring. Yeah, I mean, I don't need to be an angry person to do it. You know, I mean, I can, you know, I think I've done it so many times that I kind of know what I'm getting myself into.
Okay, so I have another Reddit question. He said, if you could compare your fighting style to a character from a movie or a video game, who would it be and why?
Okay, character. Do. Uh, man, I don't want to put myself in there with the goats. You know what I mean? Because I mean, like, because you know, Vegeta is my homie, okay, but or like Goku, but like I don't. Let's see, my style. Hmm. Uh okay, so it's like a mix of two. All right, so do you remember that? You know, remember Street Fighter?
Of course.
Right? You know the long guy,
Yeah.
the long guy. Okay,
Dulcim.
so
Yeah.
what's his name?
Dulcim. Dulcim.
Yeah. Okay, so Dosey a little bit, and I think, and I'm not gonna bullshit, cause he's really long. Yeah, and I fucking love that shit. You know what I mean? So as much as I want to be Guile, you know what I mean? Like you know, Sonic Boom, like no, you know what I mean? Like my shit looks like Dosey, okay, like for sure, cause he's so long. You know what I mean? Like I got like a 77-inch reach, so it's just like bam. You know what I mean? That jab's fucking 3 miles away. So him, and then Dudley from Street Fighter, Dudley, because he's
Okay.
a gentleman. I feel like I'm a gentleman like Dudley, and he's got a really cool boxing style. So it's a hybrid of those two. Like yeah, like Dudley and what's his name? Say it again.
I believe it's Dulcine or Dulcim, something like that.
Don't seem the Indian guy. Yeah, he
Yep.
blows fire. On a flame, you know what I mean? Whatever. Yeah, so mine's a hybrid of those two. So I'm a gentleman like Dudley, and Dudley's a badass boxer. And then it's him because he's long. He stretches out like, you know, Mr. Fantastic. Shit.
So Carmine from the Reddit said he thinks you're a mixture, or he thinks you're like Rain from Mortal Kombat. I don't know Rain, but I remember when Mortal Kombat came out and like playing it like for hours.
Dude, Rain, man, I can't take Rain, bro. But I mean, that's a badass comment. Tell him I said thank you. That's badass. I mean, I wish I could. I wish I was Rain, bro. Like I tell you this right now, though. Like I call myself like a hybrid brawler. You know, like because like no dads fighters, we have these fucking conversations all fucking day, and I don't get me wrong. I've had some good matches with boxers. I've had some good matches with MMA fighters. I have some good matches with kickboxers. But since I've kind of played all the sports in combat, I even did judo in college. Uh, I have a really funny stance, but I kind of understand the concept of the posture of stand up. And since there's no kicks and there's limited grappling, and that's another reason why I love bare knuckle. But I kind of understand the concept of like a decent stance and some stuff like that. But then like sometimes my ADHD will turn up, and that's when I also understand how to control my ADHD and just say fuck it, just like let him go, throw grenades. But I know how to keep the distance, but I also know how to play on the inside. If someone tries to go on the inside of me and try to play in the clinch, let's fuck around and play in the clinch. If someone wants to try to play outside, I can play on the outside. I mean, but it's not like it's not a complete boxing standpoint when it comes to the outside, but it's also not a complete Muay Thai standpoint when it comes to the clinch. It's a hybrid because I also understand a little Greco. There's Greco-Roman wrestling that you can utilize in the clinch. A little Muay Thai with the single arm clinch. You probably can't use a double clinch. I mean, I don't recommend double clinching when it comes to the clinching standpoint of bare knuckle, because you want to be able to throw some offense, because you can't throw offense in the clinch. But the single hand clinch, there's also a couple single hand clinches that you can learn from Muay Thai that will help you in bare knuckle. So yeah, like I'm definitely a hybrid, but my two character, like I said, Rain, that's a cool cool ass. Like I was hoping that someone was gonna say you know uh, Afro Thunder from Ready to Rumble. You know what I mean? Like, but I got me a cool one, so I appreciate it, man. Right, cool.
Let me ask you this: is having ADD a prerequisite for being a great fighter? I talk to so many of you brilliant fighters.
Dude,
Every one of you has ADD.
it's the shit. Like it's the shit, bro. Like I'm not gonna name him, but I met this dude's dad while in Florida, and he told me the same thing about his son. And he was like, his son's got ADHD, like motherfucker. And I was like, that's why he's so good. And I'm like, I'm a big fan of his son. And I was like, bro, that's so true. And my thing is like, like, I don't know. Because what happened, like, I don't know. I don't want, I don't like to promote hardcore, like, because one thing that I've also seen as a trend in my life when it comes to recommending combat sports is a lot of people want to recommend combat sports for anger management and things like that. And I think people get anger management and ADHD mixed up and thinking like, oh, let's just throw them in MMA. And I'm like, or throw them into combat sports. I think I still recommend people to try to diagnose those particular situations directly instead of just throwing them into like a combat sport where other people's lives are on the line or in someone's hands. Remember, other people's lives are in your hands. You know what I mean? Like real talk. So it's just like flying a plane. You don't want a dumbass to ride the plane. Why? Because other people's lives are in his hands, and he will. I mean, if you don't know what the fuck he's doing, he can kill a lot of people. So it's the same thing with mixed martial arts. I think that I want people to remember to really play with diagnosing the situation first, and before throwing them into a combat sport. Before I got into a combat sport, don't get me wrong, I wasn't the brightest, but I did do some extensive soul searching first before I jumped into a combat sport just because you got to have some control. You got to learn control. But you got to learn control. You got to control yourself. So um, once I did that, and then Bob Armstrong was like, Jay, if you go into the bar and get into a bar fight, you won't be able to go to the gym at all. I had had a little fear. And then, because I didn't want to get kicked out the gym. And I was so, 20, or I think I was 20 or 19 when I started. You know, I went in there with my ADHD ass, knowing that I didn't want to go to the bar and get in trouble and get kicked out the gym. So, I really recommend people to really regulate your soul, regulate your mind before you get into a combat sport, because you do have other people's lives in your hands that you're responsible for. Um, of course, you want to hurt people and stuff like that and hit the bag, and you want to take your aggression out on things. But I do recommend people to dissect it a little bit, at least a little bit. You know what I mean? Before you jump in, until you start pushing people into combat sports. If I do push something today in this interview, because I've had a lot of my friends that were in the combat sports, um, great people. And like I said, I'm not going to call their names out and stuff like that, but I've had people who still fell into drugs. Some of the greatest fighters in the world, man. Some of the greatest fighters, still some of the greatest fighters in my heart that were the fucking best. Still die from heroin overdoses. Still die from suicide. Still went to jail for a long time and stuff like that, and still got into a bunch of shit. Um, and I'm by no means perfect myself, but my thing is I've seen that ride for being in the road, being in this fucking road for a long time, and I've still seen people, they use combat sports to be their thing to get out of their demons, and they still ran into those same demons. You know what I mean? And the demons still caught up with them. So I still do recommend people to try to hit their problems directly. You know what I mean? If you have an ADHD problem, do not think that MMA. Don't think MMA fixed it off. Anything, it made it just a little bit worse. Shit. I mean, like, I'm someone who's lost a fucking passport in Dublin. Yes, I did that, and I was able to get back to the United States. It was fucking 8 years ago, but I've done that. So no, that MMA did not fix my ADHD whatsoever. It just fucking gave me a cute little outlet. But remember to, if you got a problem, anger problem, domestic, all that shit, ADHD, depression, anxiety, try to really push that stuff. Don't put combat sports as the diagnosis for all that. Yeah, I mean, like, run that, use it as a tool, but try to go after that shit. Try to diagnose that directly, just because I don't want, you do have people's lives on your hands. You know what I mean? Whether, when you're doing this, or hitting people, you know what I mean? Or, hitting people in the face for entertainment. So, yeah.
Okay, your training partner, your coach, I guess. I don't know what you consider, Elvin. Your buddy, he sent in a question. He said, when you guys run the mountain, every dog wants to be your friend. He said, do the dogs make you run faster, or do they slow you down?
Fuck them dogs, dude. Fuck them dogs. Elvin, kiss my ass. Dude, he's making fun of me. Fuck them dogs, okay? I fucking hate them dogs. We go up La Pica. There's fucking little fucking bitches. Excuse my language. ADHD turning up fucking 100%. And I got bit by one of those motherfuckers like last week. I'm so mad still. But we're gonna run it tomorrow. Yeah, it makes me, it's a little, it's half and half. Elvin, it's half and half. It makes me not want to do the mountain, but I still do it anyway. But then once we do get to that part, it fucking, man, it had a fucking sprint that I don't fucking want, because we're like a fucking mile and a half in or some shit. And then these fucking dogs want to come out and fucking try to chase us. So either A, I stop, and fuck up my momentum, or B, I have to fucking find like an extra thing in my balls. They go faster. You know what I mean? Because they want to fucking chase us a half a fucking mile. Fuck them dogs. If you act, I love your dogs. I hope they're nice. Whatever, whatever. Fuck those dogs on La Pica though. Them dogs are fucking assholes. And they're at the same spot every fucking time. It's so annoying. Oh my god.
I picture Puerto Rico dogs are kind of tough, just like the Puerto Rican people.
Oh yeah, they're nice. I mean, like, and the funny part is they all hang out in fucking like these dogs hang out in fucking crews. So like, if you see one, they're never by themselves. Like they're at least with fucking 3 or 4 fucking they out fucking packs. Okay, and there's a lot of cool ones, bro. One time I was having like emotional breakdown at the beach and I was just sitting down and I was like by myself and I was having like a fucking R&B moment and looking at the water. And I turn around and a crew dogs are just standing there over my shit, looking over me. It was like the coolest moment in my life. I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean? And then they all follow me back to the crib. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh shit. So trust me, like these dogs have like their own addresses. There's just a bunch of there's just like a couple of asshole ones that hang out with Pika. Shout out to those fucking dogs. They're assholes. And they always fuck up my run. And they either they make it better, you know what I mean? Because you gotta push yourself a half a sprint, you know what I mean, or whatnot. And they do chase. They do chase you. And then like, but then Elvin's a fucking baboon. And he just like takes it, he fucking barks at him back and shit. I'm like, dude, be fucking human and run away from him like I do. Like, trying, I ain't trying to get rabies or nothing. But yeah, I got hit the other day. That shit was annoying.
I love that's one of my favorite things is talking to fighters and having them send in little questions because like no one would have known that story about you, but that is so funny and the way you told it and like I said, that's what I take away from all these interviews is these fun little stories that no one would ever find out about.
Oh, dude. Dude, that is a bunch of shit, dude. I mean, my thing is my life. So it's such cowboy though. You know what I mean? Like it's so like one thing that I am blessed with all the bullshit that I feel like I go through. You know, I know like people look for like the baggage for sure, and I try to keep my baggage to myself when it comes to this shit. You know, there's a lot of things that I'm not happy with. There's a lot of things I do think that I deserve more, that I do deserve more props for that I don't get. But my life's but I'm so blessed, man. Both my parents are alive. I don't have like this, I don't have a crazy naughty by nature lifestyle. Cause you know, if there was anything that was different is that I was able to be more of the normal type of person that a lot of the viewers who watch this stuff, I'd be wanting your life. You know what I mean? Like I guess like homie, like what homie that posted that thing the other day. You know, like I'm looking at you like I wish I had the wife and kid thing I've been and watching. You know, because it's a less because I feel like it's less of a heartbreak. But I do appreciate, I am blessed with the type of lifestyle that I do keep. I do get to go to Puerto Rico. I had a whole year in Florida last year, you know, and the funny part was it was like one half I was selling pot at a dispensary. The other half I was a bouncer, you know what I mean, at a bar. And then and then in between I was a bare knuckle fighter in Clearwater, fucking Florida. It's the coolest fucking life that you can fucking think of. But then there's this, and then all of a sudden, like later on, I got to see my sisters and we all got to reconnect for the first time, in 16 years. And it's nothing on purpose. It wasn't nothing that was domestic. It was nothing that was hate. It's just like I'm the black sheep that travels around the world to promote himself. I got 2 military sisters. They were all over the world, fought in fought in Iraq wars and stationed in Germany. And then I got my other sister that's a straight up mom, and for us to come back together after me winning in Clearwater and go back to being little bro again for fucking 3 days, and actually feel like the little bro that I do miss that I was back in the day was fucking awesome. You know what I mean? So it was that was one of the greatest moments I had in a long time. That I can thank BKFC for making happen, because if I was not doing bare knuckle, you know what I mean, or whatever like that story will be it'd be 50%, you know what I mean? So for me to be the black sheep kid who became the bare knuckle fighter and be the younger brother of these three responsible women just made that story even better. And even at the time I was working at a dispensary, so I'm selling pot, essentially selling pot. I'm like, it was so fucking funny. So, but it's just those dramatic moments that makes the bare knuckle journey worth doing. And I like I said, I do look like I said, I got a lot of friends out there that are hardworking Americans, uh, and I look up to them way more than they don't even than they will ever know sometimes. But they also, we all, we share back and forth. They support the fact that I've stayed on the road for so long. Um, because because it's not an easy journey. It does not pay a lot. You do have to push for viewerships. You do have to advertise. Some advertisement doesn't work. Some does. I feel like I'm on the slow road because I'm the nice guy, but don't give a fuck because I never want to change myself. You know what I mean? I don't want to sell my soul to it. But at the same time though, you still do. You know what I mean? Because why? Because like I said, I don't get to see my family a lot, and I don't get to, I don't get to, I don't get the big money. You know what I mean? But at the same time though, I still get the grind. You know what I mean? The grind's always there. Me, Elvin, a couple of people here, we train every single day, about 5 or 6 days a week. As I meet new people all the time. I get a lot of love around here. I get love everywhere I go. You know what I mean, which is cool. And it's the cowboy way. I love it.
Okay, my last question that I always ask people the first time I interview them: do you remember the first time that you were in a street fight? The first time you got in a fight, elementary school? Do you remember the first time you punched somebody out of anger?
First time I punched someone out of anger. Hmm.
I assume it's a sister, probably. Listening to that, but and somebody other than a sister.
Shut the fuck up, because it might have been because me and my sis used to have fist fights. But look, I don't promote hitting women, motherfuckers. But look, like we were just young, reckless.
I'll tell you this real quick. I talked to Brandon Allen, and he was talking about how the women in his family used to whoop his ass when they were younger.
Home videos, bro. Bro, I swear there is a home video out there in the chambers of my life where I was being fucking 4 or like 3, and I was doing something and maybe being loud, and then you just heard this big ass wow in the back, like heavy hand slap. I used to get heavy hand slapped. You know what I mean? Like, shut the fuck up. And I'm not, at the time we were hard Christians at the time, so we weren't cussing, but it was like, be quiet. Ah! And man, but like my first, once again, this is where my laid back situation. I did not get into. I wasn't so hardcore, man. I probably had one fist fight like a long time ago, and it was over something really stupid. I think you know what, even to the point where I kind of regret it. I think it was some milk. I think someone maybe threw some milk on me, or something stupid like that. It was so mean girly, and he threw some milk. He ran. I jumped over a table, and I hit his ass in the mouth because he didn't have to throw milk on me. Uh, and I think that I want to say, maybe, I want to say Spider-Man, Toby Maguire's Spider-Man. So I want to say it was probably like third grade or some shit. No, 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 no. Probably like 6th grade, middle school, some shit. You know, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man. And yeah, that's probably the first time I actually got to. I mean, like, I hit someone out of like anger, ego type shit. But ass whoopings, yeah, I got those. You know what I mean? And yeah, I had sisters, so what I mean. There was some shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, like my anger, ego fight. I think it was like maybe some milk, and that motherfucker threw some milk on my eyes. I jumped over a table and punched his ass in his mouth, and yeah, I mean, and then like later on, in life, yeah, like I was a bouncer I've been a bouncer on and off since I was like 23. I want to say. So that I got a couple of funny bar fights that are in me. Put a couple people to sleep like for real. But like it was like an assembly line though. Like like the party's jumping, bop bop bop. We're going like loud, and then like my boss would be like, "This motherfucker." And I'm like, "Huh?" And then like some shit would just break out. And then like my team would just pop, me and my team, fucking Power Rangers and shit. And then like I have to fucking pick this guy out. Yeah, I mean whatever. He wants to fight back. I put him to sleep. Gotta drag him to my other bouncer. Hey, take him outside. And his pants fall on the ground and shit. And like everyone's outside. Like it was around that time what Pants on the Ground, Pants on the Ground. That song came out. So everyone was like singing that song to that motherfucker. I hope that motherfucker beat me. Shit was hilarious. But yeah, like I said, we had the bouncer stories, but like, with the fist fights and shit. But nothing like what my bouncer stories, like I said, even that one was even PGS, you know what I mean? Because I was someone, my ass whoopings were like, we organize it. You know what I mean? Like we were a team, you know what I mean? I was the middle guy. So like we cleared the middle, you know what I mean? And then we had the guy in the door, we had the guy in the back, you know what I mean? So, we were the dream team in that bar. And you know, I guess we were essentially we were sharing the ass whoopings. Like wow, give another that whap whap, and then we give him the other guy whap whap whap, and then he gets that. He either goes through the back door or the front door, like type of shit. But yeah, but yeah, I think okay. So back to the end. Yeah, I think like school fight,
Sure.
school, Ohio. Yeah, I mean, but like bouncing, yeah, like I got a couple stories as a bouncer, but nothing that was hardcore.
Awesome. So, is there any message for the fans? Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to hype about your upcoming fight before we call it a day?
Yo, just watch fucking BKFC Albuquerque, February 28th. Uh, have a good time. I do bring the bang. So my fights are always interesting. So please, to everyone from Reddit, BKFC, please watch my fight. And just the best way to show support is just to click on my link, click on my link, order the fight, or just follow my fucking Instagram, J Action Jackson. Also, I'm also a TikToker. So my iPhone is on sale for $15,000. iPhone 12, okay? I have TikTok. So if you want an iPhone with TikTok, $15,000, you can have my phone. Just kidding. I love TikTok. But yeah, follow my TikTok at J Action Jackson. And yeah, man, just I thank you for having me. I love doing these little interviews and whatnot. I always have a good time on these. So thank you for having me, man.
Awesome, man. We'll get your win, and then we'll talk again.
All right, boss. You take it easy, brother.
See you, bud. Thanks.
All right, man.